Good morning, students. Welcome to the first day of geometry class. This video is being done about a week before school starts, so I'm not for sure who was in the classroom. I'm going to assume that it's Jasa, Azu, and Jake. Hope you guys are doing well. And really enjoyed teaching you guys a couple years ago. I think that, let's see, Mary was in the class and she has switched schools, and Bryce was in the class, but he left that year. And Megan, of course, has graduated. So just you three, and if that's not correct, of course, I'll be finding that out later. So if I have the wrong names, I apologize. If there's more students or less students, remember this video is being done about a week earlier. You will not need to take notes today, so no cheering about that, but I'm sure you're glad, so no need to take notes. And let's get started with a little intro today. I'm not sure if Mr. Harmon's in the room or what supervising teacher is, but let's go ahead and just kind of talk for a little bit and have you guys listen. You might want to write some things down. You don't have to. That's up to you, but I want to go over how class will be ran this year and give you some positives, some negatives, and also talk about some different things. So, without any more hesitation, I've already said welcome to the first day of geometry class, so there you go, welcome. And of course, I'm sure, and I'm just joking with you, but I'm sure as soon as you heard my voice and the wonderful, beautiful word geometry, it put a smile on your face, of course. So, I hope that we have a great year, of course. Let's start off with talking about some things that we really need to be honest about. And I like to hit the negatives first. Whenever I have a list of things to do, I try to do the thing that I'm dreading the most first and get that out of the way. So let's go ahead and take a look at 3 negatives I want to be very honest with, okay? So with that in mind, you do not need to write these down, but let's go ahead and talk about some things so you understand exactly how this class is going to go this year. All right, I won't be there in person. Part of what makes a class special is having the teacher there. I really enjoyed teaching you guys 2 years ago. I had you at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was fresh. I was at my best. You guys were fresh. It was the first hour of the day. You were at your best. And we had a really good relationship, and I enjoyed that. And I would joke with you some. We'd have some fun talking. We definitely did a lot of math. And I would ask you sometimes about basketball, volleyball, stuff like that. I won't be there in person, okay? So I'm going to tell you the class is not always, it's not going to be like it was before. It's going to be done really well. And you're going to love the math, and you're going to understand it. We're going to work hard. You're going to learn so much this year. But remember, I'm not going to be there in person, and I'm not a special person. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you know, it won't be the same. And you're going to have to motivate yourself to listen. It's not always going to be easy, but you're going to have to take notes and listen and understand. I'll come in occasionally to give some tests, but it will not be like it was a couple years ago, okay? Another negative, I'm not going to be there to answer immediate questions. Sometimes last year I would be teaching, and Jasa or Zoo or Jake, you might say, oh, Mr. Earhart, what did you mean about this or that? And I would stop and I would come to your desk and help you or answer your question there in front of the class. And so what you're going to have to do, if some of you have questions, I'm not sure if the supervising teacher is going to be in charge of the video or you students, but pause the video, help each other. Don't make it a joke and don't goof around, but you might have to help each other and then turn the video back on, okay? And don't forget that quite often as the video goes on, sometimes your questions are answered. And number 2, don't forget that we do homework time, and sometimes during homework time your questions will also be answered, okay? But I won't be there to answer your immediate questions, so you're going to have to work together like a team, okay? That's really, really, really important. Number 3, that is not a word in the dictionary, I don't think. I call it senioritis. And I've had a lot of great students down through the years at Tennessee Temple, and the 1 year I was at Berean that I enjoyed teaching. And you know, it was a shame, but their senior year would come along, and midway through the year, senioritis would set in. They couldn't wait to get out, and I'd have to sit on them and make them work. And sometimes that relationship soured. And I want to warn you guys against that. Please be careful. As graduation gets closer, you're going to want to work a little less. You're going to get tired and worn out. Please guard yourself against that and work, work, work hard, okay? Don't let up. And understand that I love you, students, and I enjoy teaching you, and I don't push you because I want to be mean. I push you because I know what you need to learn, okay? So here's 3 negatives. Of course, number 3 would happen if I was there or not, but the first 2 are something we're going to have to work with. There's also some really, really cool positives about having this video class, okay? And here those positives are. Number 1, look at this. You will be able to watch the class videos on demand, okay? This class is like Netflix. I'm kidding. We're a lot better than Netflix. No, seriously. This class, every day, now I would not wish this curse upon anyone of listening to me teach more than you have to, but you understand, if you want to go home at night and you're like, I want to hear a couple things one more time, you can go to a certain website, and I'll give all that information later, or Mr. Harmon will, but you can go to a certain website and pull the video up, and you can listen to the class period all over again. Now again, you might not want to do that, but you could fast forward and listen to certain bits and pieces. That's really, really cool. How about this? Jasa, you have an away volleyball game. Azu, I believe when I was there, you were into basketball. I'm not sure if you were on the team or not, but I know you were into basketball. You guys might have a late away game and get back the next day, or have to leave early for a tournament and be gone 2 or 3 days. You don't have to get behind. Now, I know it's not going to be the highlight of your weekend to go home and listen to the videos, but you can go listen to videos when you're sick. And you can email me. You can call me. Call me anytime you want to. In fact, write this down. You guys are welcome to call me whenever you want. Now, when I switch screens, this is going to go away, so you might want to write it down now, okay? You can call me whenever you want, okay? I can't promise I'll always be here to answer your questions, but I'll try. Wow, this thing just won't work. There we go. All right, 706-965 math. I'm just kidding about the math part. Please don't write that. 706-965-2675. That's a Georgia number, area code 706. Okay? Now, so that's there. If you ever like, Mr. want to call Mr. What was the video I missed in class that I wasn't there? I can tell you. Mr. Harmon can tell you, or whoever the supervising teacher is. So that is really, really a cool positive. What about this? When you go home, there's going to be a video you can pull up of me doing every single homework problem for you. So you get home at night and you have 15 homework problems to do, 20 homework problems to do, 17, whatever the situation is. And you get stuck on 3 or 4. Well, just go to the video. You can pull it up, and we're going to teach you how to do all of that. You go to the video, you pull it up, and you fast forward to number 13, and you watch how Mr. Earhart worked it out, just like in class. That is really, really cool. Some students last year, I believe, sat down with the video and did their homework kind of watching the video. Now, we all know that if you just watch the video and copy what I say and don't understand it, you're going to have a 100 average for your homework and a really low average for your test or quiz. And so that would not be wise to do. But that is really, really, really cool. Okay? Put one more really in there. Really cool. So positives and negatives. And if I ever get back in the classroom again and teach, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have my homework. I'm going to do one class one year, then have it saved, then another class the next year, so I'll have 2 classes done. I'm going to have the homework all done on video, so when students come in the next day, they don't have questions on homework. We can just move on and get lessons done, and that's a really neat technological help. Okay, now here's what I need you to do. I need you to get ready to pause the video in just a second. And by the way, when I give certain instructions like pass out this handout, take this quiz today, do this activity, if the video doesn't work or if something happens, I really, this has to happen every single time that something is supposed to happen that doesn't. I need the supervising teacher or one of you students to contact me, because I don't know what happens in class unless someone tells me if something happens to fall through. But we're getting ready to pause the video here in just a second. I got a picture of the book. Just ignore all of this stuff here. I'm not sure. Just a picture that I used. I got this off of eBay, the picture of this book, or Amazon, I think. But anyways, here's the book that you need now at this time to be passed out to you. Okay? So each of you needs one of these books. It is up to you to pause the video. I'm going to move on, so you'll want to pause the video. At this time, have the supervising teacher pass out your books. If the supervising teacher does not know where they're at, you need to pause the video and go find them, please, and get them passed out, because we're jumping into homework tomorrow right off the bat, okay? So please go ahead and take care of passing out these books, okay? Okay, moving on. You're supposed to pause the video, so we're going to go ahead and move on. All right, now, let me give you some rules about homework quizzes and tests. This is a big one, and if Mr. Harmon's in the room and he disagrees with this, then we're obviously going to go with what he says. This is not the standard policy right here. However, this is not the standard class. It's being done a little differently. And so as far as I'm concerned, we had a problem last year, and Mr. Harmon will support me on this. We had a problem last year with students not turning homework in or turning it in 3 or 4 days late, and I'm not there to keep track of it. He has a school to run, and it's just not going to work. You must turn your homework in the day that it is due, or no credit will be given. Now, I believe the Berean policy states you turn in 1 day late, you lose a letter grade up to 5 days, or so, I forget. Maybe it's 5 points off. I was only there 1 year, so I forget. I would like to have a different rule for you guys. And of course, if you have any problem with this, you email me, talk to Mr. Harmon. I have no problem submitting to the standard rule. But if we go with the standard Berean rule, then the supervising teacher is going to have a lot of work. They're going to have to make note on top of your homework what day you turned it in if you didn't turn it in on time, and just stuff like that. So I would like to submit, this is the rule. When you come into class, your homework is done or no credit will be given. What if I had questions, Mr. Earhart? Well, you shouldn't, because we have videos for you to watch that will help you with your homework. Well, Mr. Earhart, what if my internet was down? Students, you know from having me 2 years ago, I'm the easiest teacher to work with as long as you do this. You've got to communicate with me. Email me, call me, Mr. Earhart. We had a car wreck on the way home. God forbid that were to happen, a car wreck, and 2 or 3 had to go to the emergency room, and I was there all night. I got home. Communicate, call me, email me. I love email. I'm just like all the other teachers there. I have this email, earhartm@bereanacademy.net. Okay, so I have the same email address that all the other teachers do. Contact me. Last year, one of the students was really, I'm not going to get into who it was. She was really good at emailing me when she had questions and comments and videos and this and that. It was great. I loved it. So homework should be turned in that day, or I'm giving no credit. Now, of course, Mr. Harmon might say I can't do that, so that's fine. But communicate if there's going to be a problem. earhartm@bereanacademy.net. I've already given my phone number earlier. Okay. How about quizzes? And by the way, here's another positive. If you just missed what I said, pause the video, rewind it, and listen to it again. All right? Okay, quiz information. You should know from 2 years ago when I had you, all quizzes are pre-announced. There is nothing wrong with pop quizzes. I'm just not a fan of those. Because I feel like quizzes and tests not only show me what you know, they also tell you what you need to learn. Now, hopefully, we've been learning it all along the way, but if I can tell you what you're supposed to study, then you learn it like you're supposed to. So quizzes are always going to be pre-announced, probably one every week, something like that, approximately. Don't hold me to that, but quizzes will be pre-announced. No pop quizzes. Tests. Now, I'm changing my policy a little bit. Instead of giving you chapter tests this year, I'm giving you a test every 2 weeks, usually on a Friday. Okay? Now, of course, because of the school calendar, sometimes I won't be able to do that. Most of the time, it'll be on a Friday, and it'll be every 2 weeks. So think about that. We have 9 weeks in the first quarter. So we'll have a test the first 2 weeks, a test the next 2 weeks, a test the next 2 weeks, a test the next 2 weeks. And this week here, week number 9, I know the school doesn't have 9 weeks exams, they have semester exams, but I'm going to give you guys, look right here, I'm underlining, I'm going to give you a review test at the end of the first and third 9 weeks, kind of like a test that'll cover the whole 9 weeks. Now, it won't be super hard or comprehensive. It'll be a normal 50-minute test and just kind of going over the basics. And we'll still cover it. Now, don't think we're going to have a week off. We're still going to cover new material, definitely, but we're also going to have a little review test there to make sure we're getting all of this. Okay, so that's how we're going to do things on homework and quizzes and tests. Okay? All right. Now, actually, I told you wouldn't need to take notes, and I did not mean to lie. I only lie on the weekends. I'm just kidding. But I think I might have misspoke. You might want to write some stuff down here. Things you're going to need. I'm going to go fast. You can pause the video if you need to. You're going to need a calculator. A nice grapher, you know, the graphing calculators, they're not necessary. It's okay if you got one, bring it, use it, fine, no problem. But a $10 scientific calculator from Walmart is just fine. Maybe even Dollar General, I'm not sure what they have. But because in Algebra 2, we did a lot of the higher level graphing and solving in Algebra 1 and 2, but you're not going to need a grapher for this class. Now, if you have one, fine, but you will not need one. A nice scientific calculator will be sufficient. You'll need I don't know why I capitalized S. It's definitely not a name. Should be a small s. A spiral notebook. Okay, now that's a notebook that has the spiral thing going down the side of it, and most of your teachers don't like you to rip your paper out because that's a really good drawing. Mr. Lemon had better fear for his job, the art teacher. Anyways, I'm just making it worse, aren't I? Anyways, a spiral notebook is something you will need. It's mandatory, and that's what you're going to take notes in. And you might want to have more than one. You might want to have 2 notebooks. One for notes, and then the other one over here, your other notebook, could be for homework. Okay, that's up to you. But you need one for sure for your notes. We're going to put our definitions in there. We're going to put our theorems in there. We're going to put our postulates in there. We're going to put our isn't this exciting? I love this stuff. I am such a nerd. We're going to put your corollaries in there. All of these things you're going to learn this year. Your proofs. Have y'all heard about proofs? Students usually hate proofs. They're really cool. So we'll be putting all those into your notes notebook. Okay? All right, moving on. Number 3, you're going to need a protractor and a compass. Now, a protractor is one of those plastic things that's shaped like this, and it usually kind of looks like this. And it has numbers going across the top, and it measures angles. A compass is one of those things that makes circles. You've got like a needle here, and a little thing sticking up. And then like your pencil is attached right here, your pencil, and you control it around and make circles on your paper. You know what I mean? So you're going to need a protractor to measure angles and a compass, because we're going to do something this year, contain your excitement. It's called constructions, okay? And you're going to need those for that. All right, moving on. Obviously, you'll need a pencil and a textbook. If you didn't know that, you're already in bad shape. You're going to need some pencils. I just said some pencils, more than one. You'll need pencils, plural, and you'll need your textbook, which hopefully has already been passed out to you. Okay? Now, you should have paused the video, passed out your books, taken roll, gotten acclimated. We might have some new students. If we do, whoever you are, remember this video was made a week earlier, and so welcome to the class. I look forward to meeting you in person eventually when I'm able to come in and give some tests throughout the year. And you know what? I want to be honest with you. I am not threatening you. I'm just telling you the truth. I love y'all. If you don't pass, you don't pass. Okay, I'm not going to pass you. You're going to have to do it on your own. I'm going to tell you something. I'm putting my reputation as a teacher in front of the whole world. I mean, your parents can watch these videos if they, if you tell your parents, hey, Mr. Earhart's doing a horrible job and I'm just not getting it's his fault. And that could be true, by the way. I'm not saying that it's not true. But they can watch the videos. They can watch the homework videos. I mean, I'm putting my stuff out there in the open, so I'm definitely not scared to do that. And you can pass. I mean, I'm telling you, there is no one in here who, in my opinion, should get lower than a C. If you're not doing the homework, you might not pass because you're not going to understand the math. If you're not studying for your test, you might not pass the class. You know, one of the biggest things about this class that hurts students? Memorizing the definitions, postulates, corollaries, theorems, and proofs. You've got to memorize them no matter what. And by the way, you'll see on my tests and quizzes, I do not make you write them word for word. They're fill in the blanks. I leave out keywords. It's not that hard. When I was at Tennessee Temple, my year exam at the end of the year was fill in the blank. There was about 150 to 200 questions, and there was not one math problem on the end of the year exam, not one. It was fill in the blank, every definition, postulate, corollary, and theorem that we learned the whole year. Now, that was an honors advanced geometry class. I'm not going to do that to you guys, but my point is these things are so important to learn, okay? So I'm not trying to scare you. I just want you to know, really, if you're excuse me, sorry, if you're not doing the homework, if you're not studying and you don't pass, guys, that's not my fault. You've got to do the work. A's are not going to be easy. Do I think so if you can get an A? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But it's not going to be easy. If you want an A, you're going to have to work hard. You know, if you want a B or a C, whatever your goal is, you're going to have to work hard to get that, okay? Love you all. Look forward to having a great year with you guys. And you know how to reach me. I've given you my phone number. You know how to email me. I've given you my email. Stay in contact with me. You'll get videos every day. And you can watch them whenever you need to. And I will be there in person occasionally like I was last year. All right?